Everyone, and welcome back to my channel, In Search of Wonder. Today you are joining me for a chock full weekly wrap-up video. As I'm putting it all together, I'm realizing this could have been like 3 separate videos. We've got book hauls going on, we have Christmas activities, we have book reorganizing, and library tours, all kinds of stuff going on. So buckle in, skip around if you want. I'll put timestamps in so you can see whatever parts you want to see. And here we go. Here was my very busy, fun week. Earlier this week, I took time to go to our local library. On the way to the library, I saw that they had put up a lot of the Christmas decorations in the downtown, and I love my little historic downtown. It's like it was built in colonial times, and it still has that a little bit of old town charm to it, and it's got great little shops on it and restaurants, and it's just a fun place to visit. And I live here. And on the way to the library, I saw all of the beautiful Christmas decorations. You know, they wrap the pine around the lampposts and all that kind of stuff. So on my way back from the library, I took a little video of all of the, as I was driving down the main street. So you can see my cute little town, especially the courthouse, all decorated and festive for Christmas, plus a little mini book haul from the library. To the library and got a mini haul. This is a really nice copy of Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie, which is, I've only read one by her, and this is the next one that I want to read. So I got that for $1. And then I checked out these other books. They are on my list for Historathon for November, so this is going to be the next one I'm going to read. Marilla of Green Gables. And I'm also very interested in this one, but I don't know too much about it. So anyway, that's what I got at the library today. And after going to the library and my little library book haul there, I stopped by one of my favorite coffee shops, which is run by a local ministry. The reason why I love this coffee shop is not because their coffee is that amazing or anything, which is good, it's fine coffee, but they hire people with disabilities, and it serves as a way for someone who might be unable to get a job elsewhere to have a way to make a little money and to develop work experience and job experience and be able to live at least somewhat independently. So unfortunately, their hours are right during my working hours, and I don't work anywhere near this coffee shop, so I am not able to visit it except for on my days off. So whenever I'm off, I try to make a point of going there because I just want to support this coffee shop. And anyway, they do a bang up job. It's a fantastic little coffee shop. If I was a working from home sort of person, I would work from that coffee shop because it's just so cute how they have it set up in there, and it's just cozy and comfy and a fun place to sit and chat or sit and work. So anyways, let's go visit my little favorite coffee shop. One of them. I have a few. Earlier this week, I found a fantastic industrial rustic kind of bookshelf on Facebook Marketplace for $40. Yes. And also in the process sold an end table that I had in my family room on Facebook Marketplace for $10. It wasn't, I mean, it was like all whatever. Yeah, so it had like water rings on the top and nicks and all kinds of stuff. It needed to be refinished, so it wasn't worth much. But I got that off my hands for 10 bucks. So really, my husband says this is my very own special kind of math. But really, I only paid $30 for the shelf because I got $10 for the piece of furniture that it replaced. So, I mean, that's math. It makes sense, right? Anyways, so I was able to take all of my photo albums and scrapbooks and stuff from my library here upstairs and put it onto that shelf downstairs. And so, of course, that made more space on my shelves up here. So I had to do a little reorganizing, and now I have room to buy more books. That was the whole point. If you saw on my Instagram page, I scored this bookshelf here for $40 on Facebook Marketplace, and it was fantastic because I really need more space on my bookshelves, but this was the only other place I had in my house to put a shelf. Really, I mean, I could tuck some in other places, but for it to look nice, etc. So and so I've been looking for the longest time for a tall, narrow shelf that fits in this space that matches the rest of our decor, because we kind of got like a bit of a rustic thing going on. My husband did that fantastic palette wall last year. That was my Christmas present last year. So, and then I have like these rustic crate shelves over here for the games. And so I needed something like kind of rustic. So this was perfect. It was 40 bucks, which was great for a bookshelf, and it perfectly fit all of my photo albums and scrapbooks. And then like these are my grandparents' Bibles right there. And then up here is our wedding albums and stuff like that. And then albums I've had for forever. I don't even know what's in all of these. And then scrapbooks. Oh, look, it's missing an F. I don't know where the F went. Somewhere in my family room, I have a block with an F. And I don't know where it is. It's supposed to spell family. Anyways, and then all those scrapbooks from various things and life events and whatnot, and more scrapbooks and other things. Anyway, so I was so excited because I was able to move all of these from my regular bookshelves upstairs to this set of shelves, which freed up a whole bunch of space. And now I have room for more books. Yay! finished organizing my shelves, so I'll give you a little quick tour. The bookshelf on the left, I did not do much with that. That is my collection of antique hymnals. Yeah, mostly antique, but not entirely. Hymnals at the top, and then my music collection, and then my Christian nonfiction, and my cookbooks. Didn't really touch that much, left it as it was. But in the center, those two shorter vertical shelves is where I used to have all of my photo albums that have been relocated. So instead, I kind of showcase some of my favorite authors over here. So this is the Alcott shelf, and I have a little space there to put some more. And then here is the Austen shelf. And then the Bronte shelf, plus the old dictionary that I didn't have another place for. And then in the center, under the wreath, I have some of my nicer copies, except for Les Miserables. That's this one that's falling apart here. I need to get a nice new version of that, but that's a placeholder there because it's one of my favorite books. These are just some nice copies of books that I have just kind of showcased there. And then moving over here, these are anthologies of various kinds, fairy tales, author anthologies, etc. And then these are some just really nice old copies of books of different kinds. Some of them are nonfiction, some of them are fiction. And then up here, these are all music books that are all vintage antique books. So I used to have all my fiction down here, but it was just spilling over. So I needed to move stuff around. And so now I have all nonfiction on these shelves. So I'm not 100% satisfied with the way it's organized, but whatever, it'll work. So that's all my, not all my nonfiction, but a lot of my nonfiction there. And I moved my fiction up here. So I've got my classics besides what was on the author highlight shelves. I've got my classics up here in 2 rows. So in the front facing row, well, the frontmost row, I should say, are my nicer-ish copies. Although I was realizing I need to get some more nice copies, and also I need to take my thrift book stickers off when I buy the books. Silly me. Anyway, and then this is my general market fiction I love this cover. It's just so beautiful. I love that copy of the book that I scored, I don't know, at a yard sale or a thrift store or something. I did not pay much for that. Beautiful copy of All the Light We Cannot See. Anyway, so I put all of my nicest copies again up front, and then behind is just regular paperbacks. And then I have my Christian fiction here, organized alphabetically, and then got my rest of my Christian fiction with a stack of my Rivers that's missing one that is lent to a friend. And then I have some more boring nonfiction here, gardening books and health books. Didn't really do too much rearranging there. They're just hiding down there in the bottom. So that is my hard work for this week that I did. See if I can back up. There we go. My bookshelves. Ta-da! Oh, and yeah, I read some books this week. So without any further interruptions from me, following are a couple of reviews of the books that I read this week, as well as another little special mini book haul that I got because, you know, I have more space on my shelf, so I have to get more books to fill it, right? And wrapping up our week with all the other fun stuff. So enjoy. Last night, I finished reading The All-American by Susie Finkbeiner. This was my 5-star prediction for the Historathon 4.0 reading challenge. And I believe it was Gloria Z. Thompson that was one of her prompts to read a 5-star prediction. And I have loved everything I've read by Susie Finkbeiner, so I thought it would probably be a good chance for it to be a 5-star, and it did not disappoint. Very good. Partway through, like the first third maybe, I wasn't sure that I was going to love it. I mean, the writing was very good, and I was enjoying the characters and everything, but I was afraid that it was going to be too much about, like, issues, like more heavier topics, not heavier topics, but like maybe controversial topics, like censorship, for example, or political parties and political leanings and that kind of thing. And I wasn't really here for that. I think there's definitely a place for that. I just was not in the mood for the mental energy required to process something like that. And I just wanted a really good story, a deep story, but not like digging into those kinds of topics per se. So thankfully, as the story went on, I mean, I guess maybe it touches on that kind of thing, and it's sort of part of the plot because the dad in the story is accused of being a communist. So then there's all the fallout from that. But it's more just a really good heartwarming fiction story. It's about that. I mean, that's a key element of the plot, but it's not trying to dig into political ideologies and analyze them, whatever. That's not the goal of the book. So I really enjoyed it overall. I loved the characters. So it's basically centers around a family with a mom and a dad and 3 kids. The oldest son is grown, unmarried, newly married. And so there's a little bit of dealing with accepting the sister-in-law into the family that is hinted on. And then there is a daughter in high school, and she's the baseball player. And then there's a younger daughter in middle school, and she steals the show. She's a bit of a drama queen, and she also loves to read. And so she provides a lot of comedy for the story, and she's just a very fun character. So the family has already had some serious trials from one thing and another. And they are going through another because it was, set during the Cold War, and there was like a lot of animosity towards communists because, Russia was, and other communist countries were the biggest enemies of the U.S. at that time. And so that affected even within the United States, people who had communist ideologies, etc., blah, blah, blah. They were attacked, and their livelihoods threatened, and yeah, there was a lot that went on. So the father is accused of such things, even though it's not really true. And so it's just the family's experience of dealing with that. And in the end notes, in the author's notes at the end, Susie Finkbeiner says that she was just intrigued by the contrast of these two ideas: communism, which is a very un-American because it's not what our system of government is at all. It's like the opposite of it. And then baseball, which is, as American as you can get. It's our sport, right? So she just thought it would be interesting to play around with the two and contrast them. And in the end, it's really not about either of those things, to be honest. I mean, that's where she started, but it's not about those things at all. It's about, in my mind, what I came away with was that we are all flawed. Each of us have flaws of one kind or another, whether it's physical imperfections or sins that we struggle with, or sins that we know we struggle with and, by God's grace are overcoming, or, things we do and say, sins of unkindness and meanness and wrong perspectives, etc., all of that kind of stuff. And we all have quirks of personality and people that we get along with and people that we don't get along with, but all of us are a team. And whether it's a baseball team or a family or a country at large, we are all on a team, and we have to learn how to work together with all of these differences that we have, the flaws. We have to walk with respect towards one another in order to be successful. And that we are most successful when we do work together as a team. So that's what I walked away from the story with, as far as being the main idea and the main theme. But as anything by Susie Finkbeiner, just very well written. You get really engrossed in the story and the characters and their lives and what is happening. And when I was done with the book, I had a bit of a book hangover there for a while. So highly recommend. It's, I guess, would be classified as maybe like women's fiction, literary fiction. I'm not really sure. But it's just a really good story. So highly recommend. I think that most of you would enjoy it very much. So that's my first read of the week. Okay, so it's Black Friday, and I did my usual Black Friday shopping with my hubby and my sister and her hubby, and that was fun. Had a good time. Got some good Christmas presents. Finally, I had not done any Christmas present shopping until last night. Literally, it was the first Christmas present that I bought. Didn't even know, like, didn't have a plan for half the people on my list. I'm usually a little bit further ahead than this, so I'm a little behind, but you know, it's good. It's all good. Still got a month to go before Christmas, so it will happen. It will happen. But I had to go run an errand, and I happened, of course, to be in the same shopping center as a local thrift store, so I had to pop in, and good thing I did, because 50% off the entire store. Hello, 50% off at the thrift store. Not to mention one of the most reasonably priced thrift stores in the area, with some of the best merchandise available. So it went a little crazy, but I only spent 30 bucks. So, I mean, part of what I bought was a Christmas book haul, which I was hoping for, because I realized I have a dearth of Christmas books in my house. Now, I know there are some in my Christmas boxes, which I haven't pulled out yet. But generally speaking, I don't have that many Christmas books. So I decided this year that I need to remedy that. But of course, I don't buy them full price. So I wanted to keep my eyes peeled at like thrift stores and used book sales, etc. So, jackpot, they had a whole bunch. Well, let me show you what I got. Look at this gorgeous little beautiful edition of the Nutcracker. Hardcover, little gift copy. And these are the pages on the inside. I mean, look at that. What? So that's just lovely. Got that. $1. No. 50 cents. It was 50 cents, people. And then, I've never read this. I've read one or two books, other books by Kristen Hanna. Not my favorite author, but I thought, hey, Christmas book might be good. And it's in like pristine condition, right? So, and it's pretty. It's a pretty Christmas book. What more do you need? Lori Copeland, A Christmas Novella. For, this was like 25 cents. Oh, look at the edges of the page. Nice. And then this one by John MacArthur, The Miracle of Christmas. More of a devotional, but it's a nice hardback one. So that would be a good one to do devotion wise. And then this one, pretty sure I have read this one before, and I think I may have even used to have a copy of it. It might be in my Christmas box. But it was like 50 cents, so I got it just in case, and it's really in good condition. And then this one, love this, Christmas with Anne and Other Holiday Stories. So, I think it pulls from the Anne of Green Gables books, but then I think it also is other Christmas books, Christmas stories by Lucy Maud Montgomery, which is so cool. So, anyway, love that one. And then this one, I think is going to be pretty to just put on my piano as decoration this Christmas. and also to sit through and just play Christmas carols from. So fun. Not like I don't already have a bunch of Christmas songbooks, but you know, who's counting? Not me, certainly. Anyways, that was my haul for today. My surprise Christmas book haul that I wasn't expecting, but I'm so happy that I found it. Very serendipitous. And yeah. Yesterday, I finished reading Marilla of Green Gables by Sarah McCoy, which is supposed to be kind of like the backstory of Marilla Cuthbert from the Anne of Green Gables series. And in particular, the mystery of her relationship with John Blythe, who was Gilbert Blythe's father. And it was very good. I haven't put it on Goodreads yet. I'll probably give it 3, but let's bump that up to 3.5 stars. Nothing like, you know, really majorly wrong with it. Just not as completely compelling of a story. I did learn some interesting things though about Canadian history, because I really honestly don't know much about Canadian history except as it directly correlates to American, like United States of American history. And I had no idea that in 1837 there were revolts and uprisings in Canada, and that there was an upper colony and a lower colony, and that the result of those revolts and uprisings was that those two colonies were united. Had no idea. So I learned new things about the history of Canada, which is one reason why I love to read historical fiction. So that was good. And interestingly, they also connect the story to the slave trade in the United States at the time, because the span of the story is set when, you know, that whole issue was heating up. And of course, many of the slaves who were able to escape were escaping to Canada, to freedom there. So that played into the story as well. I mean, honestly, I guess that was one of the things, it seemed like a little bit far-fetched, like maybe a little bit too much of an adventurous life. Marilla didn't seem like someone who had a super adventuresome background. And not that she sought adventure in this story or was like an adventurous sort of person. Just kind of happened, I guess. But anyway, but I don't think it was enough to say that, you know, she didn't stay true to Marilla's character or everything. I think she worked very hard to stay true to the story as presented in Anne of Green Gables, and the character of Marilla as she is presented in the books. So it was very enjoyable, but I wouldn't personally like say, oh, if you love Anne of Green Gables, you have to read this story. It's the perfect accompaniment. It's good. It's interesting. If you're a really big Anne of Green Gables fan, you would probably enjoy reading it. Just kind of sparks your imagination about what Marilla's story might have been. So that is probably the final book update I will have for the week. I have this one in progress, Fervent by Priscilla Scherer, as a nonfiction. I have not picked up another fiction yet, but I think I'm going to go probably with this one, which I picked up from the library, Address of Violet Taffeta, and see how far I get with that. We also started listening on our drive for Thanksgiving. We were listening to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So all of these are for prompts and various reading challenges for November. Marilla of Green Gables was one of Gloria Z. Thompson's prompts in the Historathon 4.0 challenge. And then this one, the prompt, it was also for Historathon, but I think for maybe On the Middle Shelf, I think is the name of the channel. Her prompt was a color in the title, so that's why I went with this one. And this one was for the Fall into Faith challenge that Catherine at Regional Love and I are doing, and this is for the category of prayer, that prompt. And The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is for my Facebook book club that I'm a part of, What the Dickens, that's run by several Christian authors. And also it covers another year-long reading challenge I'm participating in, reading the classics from the Tea and Ink Society, and the prompt for November was a classic fantasy. So Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe covers both of those, and so those are the books I have in process. I don't know that I will finish any of them before the weekend, so this is my final update as far as that goes. Tomorrow we are planning to go and get our tree. We get a live Christmas tree every year, so I may tag on to the end here a video clip or two from the farm that we go to pick up that tree. And yeah, so that's a wrap for this week. I hope everybody had a wonderful week. If you were celebrating Thanksgiving this week, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And as you are preparing for Christmas, I hope that it is going well and that you are experiencing much joy and holiday cheer as you are decorating your house and setting up your tree, etc. And I look forward to talking to you again next time. Bye. Today we went to get our Christmas tree at a farm that's, I don't know, I guess half hour, 45 minutes from us. We discovered it a few years back, and it is our favorite place to get our live tree. We get a live tree every year. This Christmas tree farm is like something from a Hallmark movie. I've never been to a Christmas tree farm quite like this, and I have been to many Christmas tree farms in my life. They just have all of these cute drawings and murals, and I didn't even show you all of them everywhere, just these cute displays and photo opportunities. I love this nativity scene. I think that was new this year. I don't remember seeing that in previous years. So they give you the saw, and then you go off. Look at that landscape. I mean, the sun was hitting in just the wrong place, that it's catching at the wrong place on my camera, but it's the scenery is just so beautiful. And this time of year, the air is so crisp and fresh. This is the tree my younger son was rooting for. It's a blue spruce, and he was very much loving it. And it was a very nice tree, but we're kind of tired of the super prickly trees. So then we found this one, and it was not as prickly, a little bit softer needles. And he was a little disappointed, but we had our older son stand by that one and guard it while he watched his football game on his phone. So we went to look elsewhere, and in the end we decided that was the tree. So my husband got it started, but then my older son cut it down this time, which he has not done before. And at first he wasn't really understanding how to do it, but with a little help he figured out how to do it. And he was the younger one. Yeah, he gave up after about 30 seconds, and the older one managed to cut it all the way through. Took him a minute, but he did it. There she goes. Well done. So then we're heading back with our tree, and this place is not very expensive. I don't know how much live trees cost where you are, but it's a great deal. Oh, this was the point when I had to say to my son, we do not dance with saws. Things that you have to say to 12-year-old boys. And then inside the little barn area, they have these super cute setups with antique items. And then I love this. They had this little display of books to read for the kids while mom and dad are busy getting the tree all cinched and put on the roof of the car. So fun. And then over here, this little house display
We'll come back to it in a second. In the town where this farm was, there's this kind of like funny joke that the town square is actually really a circle, so everybody calls it the Squircle. And so this is supposed to be a replica of the Squircle. And then a snowman there. And hot apple cider. And there's our tree, ready to go home.